This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.
Welcome to this epic disaster. We are here in Puppyville today.
This is Puppyville. We have a guest.
We have your puppy in our studio.
Yes.
Which we had to do because we had to babysit your puppy.
Because there's no one downstairs to do it.
No one is here to babysit the puppy. So we don't know what's going to happen. If you've ever babysat a puppy,
there's a lot that can happen.
Anything can happen.
All kinds of things can
Noises.
happen.
So if you hear little squeaks and stuff, it's not us. We're not doing it.
We're not playing with toys.
We're not playing with toys. Oh, we might play with toys. We have a few toys here on
we play, but nothing squeaky.
Nothing squeaky, although sometimes after we've had a few beers, we get a little squeaky.
We squeak.
We get that. Speaking of beer,
ha.
I think we should kick into the live beer review. Now, I am really excited about today's beer.
As am I.
I saw this and I was like, this has got to be delicious.
You know what? I am 100% glad that you got this particular beer. Now, I personally have had this beer before at the Porter here in Atlanta.
I have not.
The Porter Beer Bar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Allagash Curieux. It is ale aged in oak bourbon barrels.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's so good. This was bottled March this year, and it is 11% alcohol by volume.
Which really, it just sounds great. It just sounds like the kind of beer I'm going to love. Sounds like, ooh, that was loud.
Yes, it was poppy.
Okay, and we both have glasses here. We're going to be drinking this out of a glass. And
do you want me to pour yours for you?
I could probably do it. Do you need to tell more about it, or did you tell everything that there is to tell about it?
I could also say that it is brewed and bottled by Allagash Brewing Company. This
is it Portland, Maine?
Let's see, they brew all of our beer at a single brewery in Portland, Maine.
Whoa, it smells good. Just have it open and it smells good.
Yeah, it says we brew all of our beer at a single brewery in Portland, Maine, just like we have since 1995. If you're ever in the area, we'd love to show you around. So they will do tours. That's really cool.
It is lighter beer than I expected it to be for the description that you gave. I kind of thought that it would be a little more dark.
Well, it's not a porter or a stout that's aged in bourbon barrels. This is an ale aged in bourbon barrels.
Okay.
So you're going to get some oak flavors. You're going to get some bourbon flavors. You're going to get, obviously...
Do you need more?
I'll always take more of this. Since you got such a big head.
I don't have as much as you. Okay, that's it. There's no more.
That's okay. I'll drink it. So let's do this. Now, again, I have had this before. You have not.
I have not. It smells good.
It's so good. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting a little happy over here.
I'm just thirsty. I've been wanting to do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I want to go to the Porter because I want an Impossible Burger.
Oh, man.
And another one of these.
That isn't really what I expected it to taste like. Hold on.
Okay, you're going to have another try before you make up your mind, your initial impression of the Curieux by Allagash.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty yummy. Okay.
Got it going on back here.
All right. Where's my coaster? Did you steal
coaster. There's
it's
an
over
extra
there.
Coaster here next to the
The
Liberty Bell, which
we never use.
No, we have all kinds of crap on this desk. And like today, there's no trombone lube, but we do have dog shampoo. You never know what's going to show up on our podcast desk.
We have dog shampoo and mints because those two things go together.
Well, the mints, here's what the idea of the mints. I kind of thought, what if we have a guest, they're a little self-conscious, and so we're like, oh, we don't want to be talking to them and kind of.
We are so far away from where a guest would sit right now.
But it's just one of those things that's just, it's kind of cordial. Not cordial, but polite, I guess. Just, if you'd like a mint before you start, just to kind of freshen up.
Sure.
I don't know. We don't force it on anyone.
When people offer you a mint, are you one of those people that automatically takes, you think, oh my gosh, my breath must stink?
I probably think that all the time, but I'm one of those people that I don't, and I don't know why this is. I almost never take anything anyone offers me.
Really? And do you think it's drugged, or are you that paranoid?
Neither. I don't know why it is. Like if I'm at a restaurant, like we've been at a restaurant, and somebody would be like, "Oh, taste this beer," or "Have some of this."
You always say no to me. Well,
I
you don't
never.
always say no to me.
I do. I won't do it. If they're like,
You've tasted my
"Have
beers
some of this appetizer," I'm like, "No, I don't want to." I don't know why I do that.
That's so weird. It makes you seem a little uppity. You know?
No, I don't. First of all, I don't like sharing food. I'm just not a food sharer. But there's just something, I don't know. I think I was sort of raised to not beg from other people, and it sort of feels like I'm begging for someone else's food.
That's just weird. I'm one of those people that if someone at my table orders an appetizer, I just immediately grab for it.
No, I can't do that.
I'm just like that. I mean, you don't get an appetizer unless you're going to share.
Yeah.
That's just how it works at my table.
Well, I've been, now, I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell the studio's a little cleaner?
I mean, it's ever so slightly cleaner. There's less paper piles.
Okay. You should have seen it this morning, and you should have seen it all weekend. You couldn't walk in here. It was horrible.
I've seen it like that before.
Not like this. It was the worst. But it's actually, right now, really good. And I'm moving more towards even better.
I'm pleased.
I've thrown away a lot of stuff, and I'm throwing away more stuff. So the studio, one of the things that we need to do more interviews, so we're going to have more people to come into the studio.
Sure.
And I want the studio to be nice. We won't have a puppy in here. I mean, not that that's a bad thing. It's kind of nice to have a puppy when you're doing a show.
It is fun to have puppies. Puppies are good.
People to come in and you just hand them a puppy. Wouldn't that be great? A gift to everybody that comes in, you just give them a puppy.
No. You don't give animals as gifts.
I would do that.
No.
But they give it back.
So
it's like one puppy, and you go, "Here you go," and then right before they leave, they give it back.
You're like, "Okay, give the puppy back."
Yeah,
you gotta give the puppy back.
No.
So I have a little interesting story before we do our Zabmondo, which is going to be next.
Yes.
Like it always is at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So today, now I feel horrible because this week I've not all that prepared for Puppyville.
Yeah.
And she's had to stay in her crate every day, like last week and so far today, Monday, in her crate while I'm at work. And so she's in there for 10 hours by herself. And it's just a large crate.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of room, but she is a puppy, so she sleeps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was counting on the fact that she's going to just sleep for most of the time.
Right.
Which I'm sure she does. But today I got home, and before I even left my garage, now my house is above my garage, so before I even left my garage, I could smell that she had an accident.
Puppy stuff.
Yeah, she had a blowout
in
her crate, and I just feel awful. I don't feel awful that she did it because she's a puppy,
right?
And I don't feel awful that I had to clean it because I'm her mom.
Sure.
I feel awful that she had to be in that crate with it all day because I don't know when it happened.
Right.
Could have happened as soon as I left the house this morning. I don't know. Poor baby.
Yeah, that's it's hard to it's just hard to have a puppy when you're doing other things, and it gets harder too. I mean, like when you need to go out of town, you always have to line up a puppy sitter, daycare, or something like that. And I mean, I would recommend that you look for some good daycares for her occasionally.
I plan to do, when I get back from my vacation, by the way, I'm leaving in a couple of days to be gone for a week vacation in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get back, one of my main concerns is finding a daycare for a couple days a week.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Tuesdays and Thursdays, that gives her... That kind of breaks up the week.
Yeah.
And I think that would be ideal.
And she gets some socializing.
Right. And
Very
she
cool.
needs that. She loves other dogs.
Oh,
she absolutely loves other dogs. So.
Well, let's do a little Zabmondo. Now, Zabmondo is something we do on the show, usually right about the time we do our live beer review, and it's it's sort of a psychological thing.
A little bit.
It's sort of a what would you rather do? Would you rather...
Well, you never get it right. It is would you rather.
I'm not quoting. I'm just saying it's a game of what would you rather do? What would you rather do? I'm not saying that's how you set it up. I'm just describing the game.
Okay. So I'm going to go first. Wait, I went first last week. You go first.
You seem to go first every week.
No,
All right.
that's not.
So I'm doing this. Do you have an idea what I'm going to drop today?
Blue.
I was going to say red.
You dropped 2.
And neither was red or blue. So I'm not even going to say it this time.
Okay. It's green.
I dropped a green one.
Okay. So green stands for ethics or intellect.
This is, I'm a very ethical person.
Yeah, from
So
time
I
to
think
time.
This is one of those that I excel at.
All right. So let's commence.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to change 3 incidents in the past, not in your past, just in the past,
Yes.
or alter 3 future situations?
Holy crap. Well, there's no way to know what the future situations are.
Okay.
It would be much easier to pick out 3 from the past to alter.
Okay.
But the weird thing is, once you do that, you change everything.
Okay.
When you screw with the past, you
Everything.
change everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me give you a little reason why I think changing future events would be beneficial. Let's just say that the scenario is that there is, an election coming up. And there's somebody that the majority of the people think that would be a bad idea to elect.
If the majority of the people think it would be a bad idea, then the person wouldn't get elected.
Damn it. You're right.
Well, here's the thing about I know what you're going toward, but what I would say is this. Going by your scenario.
Yeah.
And I decided to go up and fix that election and take care of it, and I did.
Yeah.
The future keeps going. How do I know something even worse is not going to happen?
I don't know.
You don't. It never
don't know.
stops. It's easier to pick out the past because all that stuff has happened. You can kind of sit back and see this is what's going to happen.
Okay, so then in that scenario,
Yeah.
you decide something in the past really should never have happened. Even if it's like some, global, horrible act.
Yes.
So you change that.
Right.
And what if by changing that, something even worse happened?
That's what would happen. You would completely screw everything up. And I just think that if you change something, you're going to make the worst thing. You're going to change the worst thing.
Yeah.
We sometimes need the worst thing in order to become better humans.
You're right. We do. We absolutely do.
And I'm not saying those are good things. I'm just saying we learn from them.
Mostly, hopefully.
It's I don't know. You could deny humanity.
Yeah.
The ability to learn or get better, so you could actually stunt growth of humanity if you do that
by stopping an atrocity of the past.
But I would still do that.
Yeah.
I would do that instead of the future.
Absolutely.
I think. I don't know. But I don't. There's no way you could know what's going to happen in the future, so I don't see how anybody could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're Doctor Who, it makes sense. I don't know. Okay.
But he just goes and changes them himself because it's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to choose a color.
Do a color. Come on.
And it is purple.
Purple.
Because it's almost always purple for me.
It is. All right. Purple is food and ingestion.
That means a lot to me.
Not indigestion.
Oh.
Ingestion. Okay.
Yes. I'm waiting. Where's my Zabando?
This is one of the most disgusting questions we've had so far.
Oh, God. Okay, go.
And I want to know who comes up with these questions.
Oh, people like us, I'm sure.
Would you rather eat a human artery?
No way.
Oh, wait. Or the extracted gums from someone suffering from gingivitis?
Oh, an artery. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Duh.
At least it's not diseased. And it doesn't say a diseased artery. That's just... Who comes up with these stupid questions? I'm about to give up on Zabando.
I don't think you should. I like these questions. These are good questions.
All right, that's Zabando for
eating an artery is not that gross to me.
Okay. While we're on that subject, what would be the strangest food that you've ever eaten? And this is a food. Make sure it's a food. It can't be like a booger. You cannot eat a booger. You can eat one.
Or a body part.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you were at a banquet for cannibals, maybe. But I'm just saying it's got to be. It's a food.
Mm-hmm. Something edible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're driving, if you're on a motorcycle and you open your mouth and a fly flies in your mouth,
it happens
you
all
didn't
the
really
time.
you didn't really eat the fly.
Right.
It just happened.
Right.
So food wise.
So something I sat down and chose to eat.
Yeah.
That was served as food.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there is one thing.
Uh-huh.
And it's along the lines
yeah.
of my would you rather question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You ate a beating heart.
No. No. Except for the one that I ripped out of his soul. No.
Like a vampire.
I ate human placenta. Obviously not the entire thing, but I tasted it.
Was it still in the person?
No. That would be some work. I'll tell you what. That would take some work.
I don't want to know all your private things, but I don't know what's happening there. I mean,
so is that weird? That's probably weird to a lot of people.
Okay, so there's this rumor.
Uh-huh.
You probably heard this. There's a rumor, and this is all bullshit because we're both vegetarians, but there's a rumor that when someone gives birth, that vegetarians have this big party and they go and eat the placenta because it's the only kind of meat that vegetarians can eat that don't involve killing a human being.
Okay.
Which is completely dumb and stupid. I don't know anybody who's done that. You might be the only person, even though I know people do it, you might be the only person that I know who's ever done that.
Well, it wasn't a vegan party.
No.
The way that you described. It was just
I
won't go
I don't
into
need
it.
the details.
Okay.
I don't even want to know. What kind of wine did you have with it?
We did have red wine with it, now that you mentioned
So it was red wine?
Yes.
With placenta. I don't know what goes with placenta.
It was probably a Merlot.
Really? Okay.
Because, yeah.
That's weird. That's strange.
Now, I mean, I could have
I'm
gone...
not judging. I'm just saying.
I could have gone with the second weirdest thing I've ever eaten.
Okay.
Which is garlic gelato.
That's not as weird as placenta. Now, if you had placenta gelato...
Ooh. Let's
Give me 2 scoops of placenta.
Now I want ice cream.
Oh, me too. I kind of want an ice cream. I don't think I've had anything as exotic as that. You know, we've talked about this. I love watching Andrew Zimmern.
Yeah.
Bizarre Foods.
Yeah.
I know people have had some much more bizarre foods than me. I've only had, I think I had calf brains.
See?
Which tasted like really light ground beef.
You've had sweetbreads too, haven't you?
I don't even know what that is.
That's like the if I'm not mistaken, sweetbreads is like the stuff that holds the colon in on a sheep.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think so. I mean, haggis I had, but that wasn't bad at all. And then the other thing that I remember growing up, you know, chitlins.
Yeah.
Southern delicacy. I don't know who thought of this. I mean, it's poor people food.
But you know, it's like the main ingredient in menudo.
Well, and Ricky Martin was great in menudo. I want to say, my dad was country, East Tennessee hillbilly country type of thing. Mm-hmm. And so he loved that kind of food. And as he got older and moved to the city, he wasn't necessarily a hillbilly, but he still kind of liked to stay in touch with his hillbilliness. Is that a word? I just invented
hillbilliness.
So he would always eat that kind of country hillbilly type food, and you know, we did too occasionally. So I can remember him wanting to make his own chitlins because apparently his family did that back in the country. They had a farm and they would make their own chitlins. Mm-hmm. Chitlins, do you know what chitlins are?
Yes, I do. It is actually the small intestine
of a hog.
Right.
And cracklins, I think it's the same thing. So
no, actually, I think cracklins is a hog skin made in... No, that's pork rinds.
Pork rinds. Have you ever watched pork rinds being made?
No.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Really I used to love pork rinds. But anyway, so my dad made them. And it involves chopping them up and deep frying them. Now, apparently, there's a way you're supposed to clean them.
Yes.
That my dad didn't know about.
Oh, no. Did you all get sick?
I did not get sick. No one that I knew got sick. I think if you're deep frying, you're going to kill any kind of bacteria or anything that might be in something. However, it doesn't kill the smell. Our entire house smelled like a public truck stop restroom.
Yeah, they're not appealing to the nose.
It was horrible.
Just as they are. But if you don't clean them properly, they can be even less appealing to the nose.
And I don't even know, because I remember actually on Bizarre Foods, I saw him eating some chitlins once, and he was talking about the smell at that time. Can you even get that smell out? And then who, at any point in time, I don't care how hungry you are, gets a whiff of shit and says, I want to eat that. I don't know who does that.
I don't know who does that either.
That smells like hog poop. Give me a bowl of that.
Let me lap that shit up.
No. I don't care.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. And this is an honest question to you. How is eating human placenta worse than eating the bowels of an animal?
It isn't.
Okay.
Any kind of flesh that you eat is kind of equal.
Yeah.
But I think there's some social stigma and social taboo associated with certain types of dishes.
If you want to call it a dish.
Yeah, I mean, like my dad would eat, I've seen pig snout. Do you know head cheese? You know what head cheese is?
Yes. My first father-in-law made and smoked his own head cheese in the backyard.
Yeah.
In Anchorage, Alaska.
And pig's feet and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what's the difference in that and bacon? It's all this. It's a pig.
It's part of a pig. That's right.
I don't know. I haven't had a lot of exotic foods, and I'm not an adventurous eater at all. I don't really want my foods to be too exotic.
Speaking of pig snout, I took Toffee to the dog store.
And got a pig snout?
In my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And, of course, they put the treats on the floor at dog level.
Sure.
And, of course, she snagged her a pig snout. And so I bought a pig snout.
Yeah, my dogs love those. And pig ears.
Oh, well, I got that on purpose.
Sure.
But I just, I don't eat these creatures.
Yeah.
And I know that these items, the ears and the snouts and these dog products are byproducts of an already existing meat industry.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Right.
I don't think that the animals are necessarily killed solely for dog treats.
I think that's correct.
But they might be killed for dog food.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, possibly.
But it's my understanding that most dog food is actually horse meat and donkey meat.
I don't know about that, but...
Yeah, they're slaughtered often for animal food. Anyways, so she decided to have her pig snout, and I got it home, and I was just like... And I'm looking at this pig snout, and I'm like, it's a poor piggy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I gave it to her because it shut her up in her crate.
Can you imagine an alternative universe where you go to the store and there's all these human parts that are dried? Like there's people nose.
Uh-huh.
And you give it to your animal. People nose and people ears, people lips.
Mm-hmm.
People
Let's use
hands,
the word human instead
human
of
hands.
people. Yeah. So you get like human tailbone so they can chew on it for a while.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much of a tailbone is there. But
That's true. That would be for a hamster.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, a bully stick.
I know what a bully stick is.
And they might have human bully sticks.
That's true. They could have human bully sticks.
That's right.
Now, speaking of bully sticks, there is a product in Anchorage, Alaska that is very popular amongst collectors and just artists and anybody really. And I think it's called an oosik. And an oosik, I think it's OOSIK. An oosik is actually walruses have a bone in their boner. They have an actual bone.
Really?
And that's what the oosik is.
Huh.
People collect these.
And what do they do with them?
They create art pieces, like almost as if you were to use it like an ivory. They also use it for handles for things. Like I could buy you a skein-doo.
I mean, is it like big like that? I mean, Really?
Yeah. And there's a bar in Anchorage, Alaska by the name of Simon and Seafort's.
Okay.
Right on the bluff. And they have great food. They have the weirdest bathroom, but they have really good food. And the bar there has Usiks as their draft handles.
Oh.
It's just a bunch of whale boners.
Yeah.
Polished, obviously, and prettied up, but that's what they are for their draft pulls.
I'm just thinking of again, going into the alternative universe, and then you go to a bar, and there's all these human junks that's up there that you pour beer. Oh.
But human junk, no. Okay, you don't pour beer through the Usik. It's just the handle. Okay, it's just the pull on the spout.
No.
The human problem that I foresee in your alternative universe is that a human man's penis would just shrivel and dry up, and you wouldn't be anything to pull on.
No.
I mean, there's barely anything to pull on now, depending on who you are.
We won't go down. Okay, so here's the thing.
We won't go down. We won't.
I'm not going to go too far into this. Just mention it. We might talk about this on a future program. There's a documentary which is really interesting about this guy who has a penis museum.
Yes.
Have you seen this documentary?
I've seen other things about him.
It's really interesting. He's got a penis museum, and he's supposed to have the penis of every animal that's in existence, pretty much.
Which I doubt.
Except for one.
The human?
He doesn't have a human penis. I mean,
does he have a human penis?
He probably does, but in his museum, he doesn't.
He could bequeath his penis to his
I kind of think he might have,
collection.
But he wants something now. He wants something while he's alive, And so he does this advertisement, and he gets people who are interested in donating their stuff to the museum. And there's like this really old guy, and he's supposed to be extremely well endowed. There's like this rumor, and people who have seen it say he's supposed to be like really, really big. So he's donated, says he's going to donate when he dies. And this is the thing that's interesting. As I recall, this guy's from Texas.
Yeah. Because everything's bigger in Texas.
He, according to him and his wives and whatever, he is extremely large. And if I remember right, this guy has a cowboy hat through a lot of... He's a Texas guy, just typical Texas guy.
All right.
He wants to donate his while he's still alive.
Okay, this sounds eerily familiar to the Craigslist story from years and years and years ago, where the guy put out a Craigslist ad and said, I want somebody who will let me cut their penis off.
Oh, no.
Either that or the guy who had the penis said, I want somebody who will cut my penis off.
Well,
and I can't remember, but it was completely a sexualization and a domination and a masochistic thing.
Oh, no.
In which man wanted his junk cut off. And it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the guy never really gets to, well, I don't want to give the documentary away, but I felt like, and I think what happened is the guy who has the museum was really open to this, and then as it went along, I think he started realizing there's something wrong with this man.
Yeah.
But that's part of the documentary. I think it's on Netflix. I wish I could remember the name. Just look up Penis Museum documentary and watch it. It's really, it's fascinating and creepy, and you get to see an old man's wiener.
Because everybody wants to see an old man wiener.
What's funny is, and it doesn't really give it away. It's just part of the plot. Is this old man that's supposed to be extremely well endowed? They're going to make a casting of his wang, and they do on the documentary. And when they finally expose it, they realize maybe as he got older, it all shrunk. It's not.
No.
Apparently, the reputation wasn't.
He wasn't using the proper cock ring.
I don't know.
Okay.
So
sorry,
anyway,
did I just say cock ring on the podcast?
I think you did.
Twice?
You actually took it to an all-time low.
Sorry.
Okay. So let's go back to foods. Now that we've been talking about penises.
Talked about junk.
I've got here. I want to talk about. I've been wanting to do this for a few weeks. You and I both are kind of foodies, and I found it interesting because we eat a lot of food, and sometimes we'll go to restaurants together and eat food. But I know a few things about things that you've eaten and the things that you like.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the things that you really like that I don't like, or the things that I really like that you don't like, and I don't remember what they are. But anyway, I've got some foods here.
Okay. Now, to give you a little insight, I do know one of the things that you really like that I cannot stand.
Oh, really?
Coconut.
So you're the coconut person.
You say that every time I tell you I don't like coconut. And then you buy things that have coconut and you're like, ooh, you got to try this. And I'm
knew
like,
someone
I hate
from my
coconut.
past didn't like coconut.
It's me. And then
then
you tell me, oh, I thought it was my wife that didn't like coconut. Of course
well,
she likes coconut.
And then she's like, I love coconut.
She doesn't like peanut butter.
She hates peanut butter. And a lot of other really great things she doesn't like. And she likes really disgusting things, too.
Okay.
But anyway, I have here some of the weirdest foods in the world. And
Okay.
some of these, now I'm going to try to pronounce some of this stuff.
All right. Good
Some
luck.
of it I cannot. All right. First, okay, we got two lists here. One is weird and one is gross.
All right.
And they kind of overlap. First one, Rocky Mountain oysters.
I know what that is.
You know what it is, and most people know what it is.
And I don't want to know what that is.
And
at the same time.
also sometimes referred to as lamb fries. These are testicles.
Now, okay, but lamb fries are lamb testicles.
Yes, Rocky Mountain oysters are bull.
Are bull. So they're bigger.
They're bigger.
They're much larger than a normal oyster.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why they're gross. Just because they're testicles?
Well, I mean, I don't think...
I know that I've seen Andrew Zimmern, again, eat bull balls, and he says they're good. He likes them.
Now, I've heard that the thing about testicles...
They gotta be fresh, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, obviously, you don't want stale testicles.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
disgusting.
You don't want old balls.
What I've heard, I didn't say not old, because old balls, if they're fresh, are just as good. Stale balls, on the other hand,
Stale.
not so much. However, I've heard that the thing about eating testicles, which just, no.
Is?
The thing about eating testicles is that they have a weird texture. They have kind of a
Soft.
no, like they
Grainy?
have like
Chewy?
a chewy texture.
Like squid?
Yeah.
Well, people like octopus and squid.
People.
I heard they're a little soft and kind of mushroomy. I don't know.
Would you ever try one? You've
No.
tried haggis.
No.
Okay, just no.
I'm not that curious about them. I would be interested if someone listening to the show has tried them and what they think about them.
If you have tried them, please send us your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you love them, if you tried them and you prefer not to ever try them again, regardless, we want to hear from you. So you can email us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com.
Okay, the next grossest food, puffin heart.
What is puffin heart?
It's the heart of a puffin.
Oh, like literally.
Literally, and it's a delicacy in Iceland.
Say, okay, puffins are adorable creatures.
Yeah.
They're all over Alaska.
And they get eaten a lot, too.
Yeah, they do, especially by the natives there. I mean, they're in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're really great creatures. But
Yeah.
for some reason, is the heart?
I don't know what it is. It says, imagining somebody eating the heart of one of these cute birds is simply horrendous. However, puffin hearts are considered a delicacy in Iceland. So,
Okay.
I mean, you would think it'd be kind of small. Okay, next one.
I mean, you'd have to have a bowl of puffin hearts.
Balut.
That is, I know what that is. That's whale blubber.
It's fertilized duck embryo.
Oh.
And it's popular in Southeast Asia, and as I recall, in the Philippines. And this is one of those things that Andrew Zimmern ate that he hated.
Oh, really?
And it almost
That's
made him
not
sick.
often.
I know.
Yeah.
He said it was one of the worst things he'd ever had. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're going to start getting into an area of things I can't even pronounce.
So what? Okay. I don't know. Some things that people choose to eat, it makes me wonder what made you think to eat that in the first place.
I think it's cultural.
But then again, who looked at a pig and
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
I want to eat that?
It's cultural. It's just like if you live in a place where you're kind of, you don't have access to a lot of stuff and there's a lot of insects, you're most likely to eat insects. And we're here, we don't need to do that, so we think that's gross. But at some places, fried maggots and fried
Crickets. Crickets are
all
big
that
time.
kind of stuff, it's protein.
Yeah.
All right, next one is surströmming. Surströmming.
What's surströmming?
It's fermented Baltic herring, and they're eaten out of cans in northern Sweden.
Blech. That is disgusting.
A recent Japanese study has found that surströmming releases the most putrid odor of any food in the world. And I've discovered that Swedish people eat some really disgusting stuff.
I'm getting flashbacks from coming home today and having a blowout in a crate.
Okay, here's another one. Hakarl.
Hakarl.
This is one of those things, too, that Andrew Zimmerman said was kind of disgusting. It's a Icelandic delicacy made by fermenting a basking shark and hanging it to dry for 4 to 5 months. I remember him going episode of Bizarre Foods in Iceland, going into a barn where all these shark fleshes were hanging, and he would they shaved a piece off and he ate it. And he said it just tasted like rotten meat.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what is it with the up north on that side of the world?
I don't know. They don't have a lot of food.
They eat the weirdest shit.
They have to.
Okay, but you can have a shark and it can taste good.
But why ferment it?
Why you got to ferment and then let it sit out for months?
You want to say, well, maybe they didn't have refrigeration and stuff, but it's Iceland,
Well, Iceland is not the icy one. That's Greenland.
It's icy part of the time. Renowned chef Anthony Bourdain described the dish as the single worst, most disgusting and terrible tasting thing he'd ever eaten.
Was this shark?
Yes.
Ugh.
Hakarl.
All
right. Kasu marzu.
One more time?
Marzu. Kasu marzu.
What is that?
It's cheese made from sheep's milk.
Okay.
In fact, it sounds pretty good. This particular style of cheese, however, contains live insect larvae.
I'll pass.
That can launch themselves 15 centimeters when disturbed.
Oh, my God.
It's like a jumping cheese.
Oh, my God, I'm passing. Out. No.
Larvae jumping cheese.
What is the point of that?
I don't know. And then, just like you said, who said, let's put this together and eat it?
Let's put larva in sheep's milk cheese.
All right. Going down gross food lane even more.
I'm going to vomit.
Tuna eyeballs.
Actually... Okay, actually,
I know.
They're not bad.
This is one, too, Andrew Zimmerman said was really good. All right. Gigantic fish eyes are sold very cheaply in nearly every Japanese grocery store. Supposed to taste like squid after it's boiled.
Well, there's definitely the oceanic flavor to them because they are mostly water, and that water would be salt water.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a fishy, saltwater flavored thing.
Yeah.
But they do kind of pop in your mouth.
Yeah, fish eyes, they say, are okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nakji.
What's nakji?
Nothing much. What's nakji with you? As if eating a raw octopus wasn't bad enough, nakji is eating whole. People eat whole octopuses. Wouldn't it be octopi?
It is octopi.
Not only is it gross, but nakji is dangerous as well, as several deaths each year are reported from choking on the suction cup spotted delicacy.
Because it's trying to get the fuck out.
Stupid. This just looks bad.
I don't want to see it.
Aping. I don't know if it's aping or ah-ping. It's A/ping.
Ping.
If you are squeamish around spider, then you definitely should not try this Cambodian delicacy.
Why do you do this to me?
Aping is a species of tarantula that is fried and served on a stick.
On a stick.
They eat them like candy.
I mean, I've seen people eat spiders and other creatures that are like deep fried to the point where they're just a crunchy thing. Yeah. But a tarantula would have some moisture left in the middle, I would think. You couldn't just turn that into like flat.
I don't know. They say it's kind of good, though. I don't know.
That's gross.
All right. This one, haggis.
I mean, fine. It's just awful.
It says meal made from heart, liver, lungs of a sheep. These are just organ meat, which people eat anyway.
People eat organ meat all the time. Matter of fact, who was it? Michael, somebody, he's a chef who's very into using... Yeah, Michael Simon, very into using organ meat in a lot of different ways. And people said his food was great. Now, not everybody's up for awful, which is what organ meat is called. And that's not awful like AEW. That's awful like OFF.
Now, I've had haggis before.
Right.
And now I just had a little bit. I haven't had a lot, but I had a little bit, and it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's just greasy. It's organ meat. It's very greasy.
And it's put
very
together
pasty.
with
it's like
suet,
pate.
Isn't it?
I don't know what it's put together. It was really good with mashed potatoes.
I mean, I think that's how it's eaten a lot of the time.
Yeah. Ikizikuri.
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 What is it?
Ikizikuri. I can't say it. Ikizikuri.
Is it Japanese?
Yes. A dish is banned in several countries. It's considered one of the most brutal meats in the world.
Oh, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
The preparation consists of a chef filleting a still living fish and serving it up with the heart still beating.
Why?
Well, you said you would eat a human aorta, so...
Yeah, after it's dead.
Some customers will even request that the fish swim around in the aquarium after it's filleted to show that it's still alive. What kind of people are these? It's crazy.
That's sick.
That's just really sick. All right. We're still going.
Okay, this is reminding me very much of the Faces of Death.
Yeah.
Where they kill the monkey at the table, and I'm gonna cry.
That's awful.
I'm gonna cry.
I hope we won't come to that. But Eskimoles.
What's that?
Eskimoles are the larvae of a venomous ant species.
Okay, that's fine.
And it actually looks like rice to me.
Probably.
It says that it tastes somewhat nutty, and they're normally eaten as a filling in a taco or omelet. So it looks like it might be okay. Shirako.
Japanese again?
In Japanese, it means white children.
We're eating the white kids.
But refers to the sperm sac of either cod, anglerfish, or your uncle. No, I'm just kidding.
You eat your uncle's sack?
Pufferfish.
Weird.
It looks like white globs of goo. It does. It looks kind of like a brain.
No, this is the semen sack?
It's called...
Sperm sack.
Shirako.
I mean, it's just like eating fish roe, isn't it? It's either sperm or eggs.
Yeah, why not?
Now, I've cleaned a lot of fish in my day, and if you cut that sack, it's kind of gross. I'm just saying.
And from your uncle.
Everywhere.
White ant egg soup.
It's like egg drop soup with ants?
One of the world's most unusual soups. Now I'm going to try to pronounce this. Gaing kai mok daing.
No, you didn't do a good job.
No, I'm not even close to being Asian. It sounds like, was it Taiwanese? Vietnamese combines a mixture of ant eggs and partial embryos from the white ant, plus a few baby ants to add sourness. I didn't know who knows baby ants were sour?
How do you get an embryo of an ant?
I don't know.
I mean, you've got to have some good eyesight for that shit.
I'm really against ant abortion. I got to tell you that. All right. Jellied moose nose. Nose isn't exactly a choice, but that hasn't stopped some adventurous Canadians from experience with nasal gastronomy by boiling them up with onions and spices, removing the hair, boiling again, then slicing and covering with a broth that sets into jelly. I think on the Alaska show documentary I used to watch, they said moose nose was good.
I'm going to pass.
I don't know.
I'm going to pass.
Bashintang.
Good. No, that wasn't a good job at all.
Bashintang from Korea. Korean soup made with spring onions, dandelions. Oh, that sounds good. And dog meat.
Oh, no.
Sorry,
it's
Toffee.
Okay. It's okay, Toffee. It's okay.
You'll struggle to find it on menus today. It's still popular with the older generation. And they say it tastes better than it smells. Uh-oh.
Okay, so what's going to happen here is we are going to have actual meat eaters who listen to the show.
Go out and try it.
Be like, why would you eat a dog?
Yeah.
Okay, well, why would you eat a cow?
Why would you eat anything like that? But I mean, if you're a meat person, I often wonder if people who like to taste different types of meat, if they would really want to taste dog.
It sounded very judgy for me, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying, admit that there's no difference.
I think if I had a hunger for dog meat, I would first of all I would try coyote, and then maybe wolf, because you can hunt those legally,
right?
And I would say that they're probably very similar. All right, huitlacoche.
What's that?
Huitlacoche. Sounds like something I'm drunk. It's I don't even know what this is. Corn smut.
Smut?
That's what it says.
That's a magazine.
It's a fungus that turns normal corn kernel into tumor-like growths covered in blue-black spores.
Okay, stop.
Hey,
okay.
let's eat it.
I'm skipping dinner tonight.
Diseased corn cob. I just again,
what is the what who?
Who's saying let's eat that? All right.
Let's wait. We have some really good, perfectly normal corn, but let's rot it first, and then we'll eat it.
In Mongolia, they eat arag.
What's arag?
It is fermented horse milk.
Huh?
And it's like beer.
So you milk a horse.
Yeah, and then they make beer out of it. They take mare's milk and let it ferment into a fizzy, sour, and slightly alcoholic liquid. Yeah.
You gonna try it?
No, I had this weird thing in my mind, like I had already tried it.
Ooh.
I don't know
Okay.
what that is.
You do you.
Yeah. I think we already were Kazu Marzu. Didn't we already do that?
Yep, you already did that one. I think you flipped yourself around.
Known as rotten cheese in Italy.
Yeah, you flipped yourself around. I think you're on this side.
Yeah, that's the cheese flies.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the side you're supposed to be on.
Muktuk.
Yeah, muktuk. That I know what muktuk is.
Tell me what muktuk is.
Muktuk is oh God.
What is it?
I think muktuk is the whale blubber, isn't it?
You're pretty close. It is fat and stuff, but
Seal.
What is this? It looks like maggots coming out of it, little worms and stuff.
Oh, it could be because they ferment it, they let it rot.
Whale skin and blubber.
Yes.
You can eat it raw or pickled. It looks a little bit like licorice. It has several layers. Oh God. All right, I'm getting hungry now. We've already done that one.
You're having a hard time flipping these pages.
No, these and the other ones are kind of the same. Century egg.
Now a century egg, that's an old rotten ass egg.
Yeah, from China.
From China.
I mean, century egg. What else could it have been? That's what it is. It's century egg. Salo.
Huh?
Salo.
What is that?
From the Ukraine.
Uh-huh. What is it?
Ukrainians decided to go one step further and just eat the fat of meat. It's made into slabs, smoked, and left in a cool cellar for a year before eaten.
Oh, God. Okay, this page, you missed a page.
No, I'm flipping it around. It's all nasty fat.
Yeah. It's all nasty fat.
Yeah, from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Fermented. That's the thing. Most of the stuff is fermented.
That's just disgusting.
Stargazy pie from England.
Now, that looks like pork belly? Is that what that is?
Well, let's see. According to legend, this heroic 16th century sailor rode out one December evening high storms and turned with a catch big enough to feed starving residents of...
Oh, it's fish fat?
A pie with fish is what it is.
It's not a pie with fish.
That's what it says. A pie.
That's all it is, a fish pie?
A fish pie, which doesn't sound that bad.
No, it doesn't sound that bad.
It doesn't really look that bad. Kind of does, but I don't know. And then from Israel, locusts.
Locusts? It's just
like
another
the plagues.
Yeah.
I guess they had the big plague in Egypt, and they were like, "Oh,
What are we going to do with all these locusts?" Hey.
Israel has of late been suffering from a plague of locusts, but fortunately, this is the only insect to be considered kosher. I don't know why that is. So Israelis have been eradicating the pests in a unique way by eating them, deep-fried and chocolate-covered locusts.
Chocolate-covered?
I would think that's not kosher. But there you go. That's Weird Foods of the World. Aren't you hungry now? Don't you?
Not at all.
You know what I want?
What?
I don't know why. I want jalapeno poppers. I want a big plate full of jalapeno poppers. Jalapeno stuffed with cream cheese and deep fried.
Oh, I have a story about this.
Jalapeno poppers. That's what I'm in the mood for right now.
I have a friend who lives in Austin.
Texas?
Yes, Austin, Texas. And her name is Lori.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, Lori.
Uh-huh.
And Lori says
Yes.
that, okay, so I was talking about jalapeno poppers
Uh-huh.
on this podcast
Yes.
a while back.
Yes.
I'd gone to a place and they made bacon wrapped jalapenos with cream cheese in them.
Okay.
Right? And we talked about that. And I said you preferred the deep fried ones.
Yes.
So she hit me up online. She's like, "What are these magical deep fried things that you speak of?" She, over there in that part of the country,
I would think they would have some great ones there.
they don't do them deep fried. They're all the bacon wrapped kind.
Oh.
Like the regular, with no batter, no deep frying
That's
happening.
not poppers. That's a totally different dish.
I agree with you, but that's what they
totally-
call poppers. So I'm like, you have got to try these because they're heaven. So that's kind of interesting that you bring that up because I prefer my jalapeno poppers battered and deep fried.
Me too. Well, you know, my wife is Spanish.
Yes.
And this is European Spanish, not...
Right. She's from Spain.
Yeah.
Her dad is.
And so she's really into kind of Spanish / Latin / Mexican type food.
Sure.
And she loves tacos. And so to me, tacos is like Taco Bell. It's a shell with meat and lettuce and cheese in it.
Okay.
And you bite it and it goes,
If it's a crunchy taco.
that's a taco. to her, it's a soft shell and veggies, and it's not even like it's like almost like just laid on top of it. And
It's like a tostada.
Yeah, and then you can form it into whatever you want and eat it, and it's soft. And I don't like that.
But see, hers is
I
more
like the American tacos.
hers is more probably fajita style.
Yeah.
Where you stir fry everything up and cook it, and then you make your own in your hand, and then you eat it however you want to eat it.
Yes.
Yes. Now that's fine, but that to me is fajitas.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to eat tacos. I'm beginning to think that Americans have the better idea for tacos. All right, well, those are weird foods, and if you've had weirder foods than that,
Please let us know.
We want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Any food, and again, make sure it's food. I mean, if you ate something, we don't care. Just make sure that it was supposed to have been food. And just thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Send it to us and we will read it on the air because we like to do that.
So here is another thing. You mentioned a couple of, at least one Alaska delicacy, and several from other northern countries. And I want to tell you about something that some of the Native Alaskans eat that live out in the villages.
Yeah.
As a dessert item.
Blood pudding?
No, that's in England.
Okay.
But this is kind of gross.
Okay. Well, blood pudding is...
I hear it's great. I've never had it.
Okay.
However, this is... they eat Crisco
Okay.
like ice cream.
Yeah. Well, is it flavored?
And they put berries on it.
Okay.
And maybe some sugar?
But
I don't know.
that. You need some of that fat out there.
Now, having done keto in the past, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But Crisco is lard made
Yeah.
from animals.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Or
I
is it
think so.
vegetables?
There is vegetable Crisco. I think originally it was animal.
Okay.
Stuff.
So they eat lard with berries and call it dessert.
Yeah.
Now, I've made fat bombs out of cream cheese and coconut oil and called it dessert. So what's the difference?
There is no difference.
Right?
No difference at all.
At all. And then I used to judge them so hard. I'd be like, that's disgusting. Why you feed your kids that? It's gross.
I think every culture has its own just disgusting food.
Yeah.
Weird, disgusting food.
Yeah.
I mean, Southern, you eat squirrels, you eat possum, you eat raccoons.
Alligator.
Alligators, yeah, in the deep south. I mean, in Louisiana, whatever your native animal is, you're going to eat that thing
Because it's abundant.
Why not?
Sure.
You got to have something to eat.
Right.
But again, I would like to hear other people's weird food stories because I know people out there. I know a lot of these people. We've been in communication with these people. I know they've eaten weird stuff.
I mean,
I know
just
it.
knowing them,
Yes.
I know they've
Yes.
eaten some weird things.
Weirder stuff than I am. So send us that. Let us know. We're going to close this podcast right now. But first, we're going to talk about this beer. What do you think of the beer?
You know what I think of the beer. I told you when I saw you pull it out of the refrigerator. I said, that's
Your favorite
awesome.
beer? Yeah.
It's not my favorite beer.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Okay.
So if you have not had Allagash Curieux, it is great. Rick and I just shared a bottle, and we really want to go get another one. Perhaps we'll go get a burger and a beer. Don't know. Probably not. Anyways, it's really good. It's very much your average beer.
Yeah.
But it has those notes of bourbon and oak to them. So it's got different flavors. Again, it's light colored. It is just an ale. It's not a porter or a stout. It's not dark. I dig it.
I will say, okay, you're going to review, you're going to give a number? You're giving a
3.5.
You're giving a 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually was going to give it a 3.5 as well. I'm going to tell you something.
It still has fizzy.
It does have fizzy. I'm going to say I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to like it.
Okay, why?
Let me say the good stuff. It is what you said. It's beer. It does have that whiskey kick. I mean, pretty heavily.
Actually, really? You taste it more than I do then.
No, I do. I can taste that.
Okay.
When I have that kind of stuff, I like it dark. I like it rich. I like it kind of nutty, and I like a very dark kind of porter. Maybe not porter, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Going into the really darks.
This is not what you would normally age in a bourbon barrel.
It is much lighter than I expected it to be. It's tasty. It's very good. I recommend it. I would have it again. It does. It's the alcohol content. You'll feel it after a little while.
You felt it right away.
No, it took me a little while, but I am feeling a little bit. We both have finished our glass, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3.5. I did like it. I wished it was more rich, but that's a different beer.
It's a totally different beer. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say go get you some because I think you're going to like it.
I have a feeling they make that beer, as a matter of fact.
Well, how do you think we did? It was a pretty good podcast, pretty good show this week.
I am so proud of this dog.
She whined a little bit, but she wasn't bad at all.
She is only 7 months old, and she did amazeballs.
It's this little contraption we got here, which is kind of nice. It's like a little dog playpen, and she's fine. Thanks, people, for joining us. I would say, hey, go look us up on Facebook, look us up on Twitter, look us up on Instagram. We love it when you communicate with us. We got some letters this week. We got people responding to us and stuff like that. That's always one of our favorite things. We don't get paid. It's the only way we get paid. People.
We get paid in your responses.
That's right. And
we love to hear from you.
It helps us out. We're having a lot of fun planning. We got some things coming up I think you're really going to like. We got some interviews coming up. I know we say that all the time, but we do have some cool things going on.
We do. Well, they're coming up. We've got some vacations and things happening that are going to interfere just a little bit with our planning. So stick with us. It will happen.
Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I don't have a right to. This is maybe overstepping my rights here, but next week is your birthday.
Oh, it's a week from today.
Next week is your birthday week, which means there's a good possibility some gifts might be coming on the show. I'm not going to say there will be.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The episode that we're doing right now will be released on my birthday.
Will be released on your birthday? It'll be released for birthday week.
On my birthday.
Yeah, we'll still do it afterwards. Okay. That's what we get for recording a week in advance.
Right.
Yeah, so
happy birthday to me.
There might be some gifts coming your way.
Aww.
A late birthday.
If anybody else wants to send us a gift, just email thisepicdisaster@gmail.com and ask for a mailing address. I'd be happy to give you one.
I would suggest some chocolate-covered placenta, maybe.
It's not really my bag anymore, if you will.
Oh, okay. Thanks, people, for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We will be back next Monday at the same place and time and everything else.
All those things.
Yeah.
And also on the website, just keep your eyes open because I'm going to put a few dad jokes out there for you. You don't have to read them. Hush.
Not to read them.
All right, we're out.
But we will send you stickers if you ask. We will. You can go look at T-shirts. You know, we've talked about all that kind of stuff. It's out there. Please do. We suggest that you do that, and we appreciate it when you do.
So come back.
Yeah.
Because we're not going anywhere.
No.
Talk to you then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.